welcome back, guys, to yet another episode of the Puppies podcast. What's
Welcome.
poppin', puppies?
Yeah, amazing. Today we are going to talk about how to structure your life and also your projects, because we face some issues today before recording this, or not issues, but we realize some things before recording our podcast, and we love to share about it with you.
Yes, welcome. Good day, everybody. Personal growth enthusiast, man of value out there looking for that next step, but also the girls listening in to understand men better, to understand the world better, but to also just grow and keep flowing in your way. So, like Tom said, indeed, we are going to do a podcast session that is an open brainstorming session where we're going to invite you as our listener to also pitch in with your ideas, with your topics that we can develop on. But first, I would love a mini introduction of all of us, starting with me. Of course, I will say my name is Nevin Henriquez. It is a pleasure to be here. And the reason that I am here is that around 7 years ago, I faced a almost life-threatening depression and addiction that almost ended my life. And from then on, I have been on a journey of not only healing, but recovering the love for myself. Or let's say uncovering the love, because the love is already there, baby. You just got to tap back into it. And this is why I am on a mission now to bring awareness on topics like masculinity, healthy mental organization, and just really share my love for humanity. So this is why I am here. So Tom, why are you here today? Like we asked in the book club, Tom, or you want to share a bit about the book club?
Yeah, so my name is Tom, like Tom Cruise, guys, or Tom and Jerry if you want. And now I'm here because I love, I love working on myself. I've been also, as Nevin said, in part of my life was I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I think I missed like purpose. But also like to relate it a bit to the topic we are going to talk today, it's been like recently for me that also I've been being more organized, because for 1 year and a half I've been like more going with the flow, more like, being in the present. But now it's been like 2-3 weeks that I've been managing my time more like really not strict, but like more structured. I'm tracking my habits, for example. I'm tracking, we'll talk after it, like how we give more feedback after, but I'm really taking care now of what I do in my day, and also what we discussed just before with you guys about the podcast, to have a structure, to keep like to have a strong structure, to have like an organization, like a Google Drive that we have, etc. This is already very important. And this is like the main issue I was facing in my life the last year. And now it's funny because now it's like something I've been resolving now in my personal life, and something now we are also facing with the puppies. So it's really interesting.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Tom.
Would you like to introduce yourself, why you're here?
Of course. My name is Flourish Pinter, and the reason why I'm here is because I want to show you guys my most authentic self. I was also dealing with a lot of depression and loneliness pretty much my whole life. And when I got into personal development and spirituality, and I started working on myself and putting in the work that no one should miss out on, I started getting out of this pit, this dark hole, and I started meeting the most amazing people, started connecting, and also connecting with myself, my higher self. And after 33 years, I found my life's purpose, and that's why I'm here, to help you guys to do just the same.
Beautiful one.
That is so beautiful.
So
Yeah, I love the part, life purpose. Not just like let that sit for a bit, because I believe that everybody listening also desires to tap into that life purpose. And everything we're doing here is removing obstacles for you, or giving you at least some keys, or letting you know that there are some obstacles on the way, so that you can avoid them, so you can tackle them and get to your life's purpose.
Very beautiful. But to be able to go to your life's purpose, first maybe you have to find one, or you have to create one maybe. But also you need a plan, and that's why maybe we can talk about it now. It's like you need also a certain plan. There is a saying that a man without a plan, or the man with a plan, will always outbeat a man without a plan. Even though the man without a plan can be the smartest guy in the world, if he doesn't have a plan, he will never reach where you're going. It's the same if you want to go. I'm in Barcelona now. I want to visit Nevin in Aruba. I need a certain Google Maps, or I need to know a bit where I have to go. I need to have a plan in a way. I cannot go there randomly. Or I can ask people to guide me, but in a certain way, you're not in control or where you're going. You know, you can be, I can be kidnapped or whatever. But anyway, what I mean is like, yeah, having a plan. And I think most of the people in life, they don't have any plan and they let others decide for them. Or they, as I said, they ask people to guide them, but then people can guide you to places where you don't want to go and or you didn't expect you to be there. So maybe it's what we can talk about today. It's like a bit related to what Flo says about the life purpose. Because if you have a big purpose, also you need a big plan.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that you mentioned this, that you are going to get sidetracked. And, this starts when you're a kid, you go to school and then your teachers start telling you, hey, you're good in math and you are this and that. And then you start believing it. And then also your parents and, your friends and everyone is just saying something to you and they're conditioning you. And then, well, it's easy to lose yourself in the process, right? So it's hard to have a plan when you are kind of following someone else's plan your whole life, right? So what's your plan?
It is insane. Yeah, it is insane. And I want to also share, I love that you touched on the topic of school and students and growing up, because I also believe that every single person on here will have a different way of planning. And this I have to stress before you start listening, diving into. I might have a way to plan. Tom might have a different way. Flo might have a different way. Maybe none of these ways work for you, but it takes into account, it is very important to note, is that planning is essential. I have another one, Tom. It's failing to plan is planning for failure.
Yeah, this
When
one
you
is.
fail to plan, you plan for failure. So
So
how do you plan?
I want to share something very deep. I just realized now is that sometimes we look a lot about the destination or the purpose, but I believe our purpose in life is to be a master planner, is to become like an artist, because the plan as a painting, you are the one painting the plan or the one crafting your plan, but the plan is not perfect the first time. It's like the first time you draw. No, first time you paint, it's not so good normally the first time. But the more you practice, the more you create beautiful plan. And it's the same with life. Like, let's say you don't know where to start, you don't know what you have to do, or sometimes maybe your plan is not so good, but still you can have some ideas where you can always have some ideas. And then as you do things, as you plan and you start doing, then you see, okay, this plan was not working very well. But then you can improve it, you craft it, you make it better. And I think one of our purposes in life is like to be a master planner, or maybe not a master planner, but a crafter. That you're here, like you're an artist and you're the one creating your own plan or your journey. In the way your plan is your journey at the end.
Beautiful.
Word, man. I really love the way you said it, Tom. I think look at it like this. I love the analogy of a painting. You are the artist and your canvas is half painted. Maybe if you're 50, if not, it's not even 20% painted. And what you already have painted, great. That's part of the masterpiece, but it's not done yet. And you have now the pencil in your hand that you can trace and start to create and guide this masterpiece the way you want it to go. Because that's the most empowering feeling, knowing that you can plan, you can set the stage for your life to go in. Like you can set the direction by setting big ambitious goals, but also determining the step by step process. And this is the planning, this is the timekeeping. But I feel that planning, I hear planning, guys, and I start to sweat, and I'm like, oh, guys, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go to the beach. I don't even know where to start planning, man. Come on, I haven't planned in my life. Where would you recommend the guys out there that, maybe some people in here have very intricate Google calendars set up here with automatic notifications popping up, but maybe somebody never really planned or trying to use a piece of paper. What tips can we give? How can we start planning? Or what is planning? How to plan?
Yeah, I think first you have to know where you want to go. First, you have to know the destination or the things. Let's say you say no, you want to. Let's say you want to take care of your body. This is like your main goal. Maybe you want to get some weight. What can be the plan? Like obviously, you start thinking about going to the gym. You start thinking about eating better food. and maybe also about sleep, and maybe you don't know exactly all the plan, but I think first you can have certain idea. But I think also what is very powerful with this is that there are many other master planners in this planet, and you can get inspiration from other plans. It doesn't have to be that it doesn't have to be that you copy it, and it doesn't have to be that you but you can make it in your sauce. You make it in your own for you, that makes that is good for you. So then you can follow a certain step-by-step thing that someone did that achieve your goals. Let's say if I look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, or I will maybe follow his diet because I see how he is. No, I want maybe to have the same body, so I want to maybe if not, maybe I'm not. I don't want no, but I'm looking at his diet and how his training, and I think this is the first step. But yeah, research. I think researching and learning is the first step when you don't know what you have to do.
Yeah, to have like an idea what's coming or what you have to prepare yourself for, right? I think it's nice that you mentioned this with losing weight, because I was working in this industry for a few years, and yeah, it's for me, it's so much, it's mind blowing how many people just don't even know nothing about nutrition, right? So for those people, for example, like a small information like, oh yeah, chicken has protein, is like mind blowing, right? It's like, oh my god, chicken has protein, I can't believe this. But yeah, there's so much information out there, and you just Google it. There are also so many coaches, so many people who already achieved the things you want to achieve, and yeah, researching it to the point where you can actually have an idea what you want. Hire a coach, or do it on your own. Test things out when it comes to nutrition, right? You have to test it out. Maybe what worked for Arnold Schwarzenegger is not gonna work for you, but you have to know your body. You have to test things out.
Yeah. Well, aside from that, Flo, listening to you, looking at you, I would really consider you a master planner. I feel that you do shoots, you plan, you travel, you go around places. You are, I would safe to say, the backbone of the podcast and the planning behind it. So, what tips could you give on planning? How do you structure? How do you not get overwhelmed with all of the things that you have to do in your week, or do you have flexibility? What would be your tips, or what would be the things that command us to focus on, or to
Yeah,
not
so for
focus
me,
on?
yeah. So for me, I have the flexibility, right? But at the same time, I do feel like, so for me, what helped was structuring my day, so I know, okay, what's the most important thing? Like what is the most important thing I can get done, and also what takes less time, or just even, so if it's something super important but it takes just, I don't know, a few minutes, I will do it first. This is just me. But when it comes to structuring, like I said, what's the most important thing, what is what I want to focus on, and then create like blocks for that. And then I do believe, so this was what worked for me, is it's called deep work, right? Like deep work, when you actually sit down and you have no distractions whatsoever, and then you just focus on the task you are doing for, I don't know, 1 hour, 2 hours, but it has to be like blocks, and like I said, no distractions. And for me, this is life changing, because then I sit down and I'm in the flow. There's nothing that can interfere with my focus. And this is the other thing, focus is huge. A lot of people say that, oh, I can't start this, I can't start that, and maybe the reason is because you don't know where to start. But so this is what I believe. I think most people can't start because they don't have the focus.
Yeah,
Because we are
you can go
focusing on so many things. And oh, my phone, oh, someone texted me, oh, this and that, and then you get just you get sidetracked, and it's, if you don't have the focus, you cannot get
Yeah, you're right,
anything done.
but I think it's an excuse, because at the end, even though you want to start a business, or you want to start a business online, maybe the first thing that comes to you, okay, I have to maybe declare myself legally, etc. But also, okay, maybe I need a website, maybe I need an Instagram page. Even if you're a little bit intelligent, but I don't say even, like I think even a kid could like find these ideas. Like, okay, I need a website, I need like a logo, etc. It's not something that's so complicated. Or otherwise, you can check on Google and see what to do. So even though maybe your plan is not perfect, maybe you don't need a website, maybe you don't need a logo, but if you think that you need, just do it. If you think that you need a logo and a website, do them. But as you said, it's about the focus. It's not really the excuse of saying I don't know where to start. I think it's it's an excuse. It doesn't exist. It's not real. It's just that they cannot focus on certain things. You're right.
So for me, that was what helped me, just to find this one thing that I want to focus on that day, or I don't know, in that block, and I just get it done. But for this, you have to know where you want to go, what your goals are, what's the most important thing, maybe that day, or which task is more important. And yeah, taking it super serious. Like I said, I used to get sidetracked all the time, so I had to eliminate all the things that were distracting me. And this is something I think most people are struggling with this, because distraction is real, and everything out there is there for you to get distracted. So take care with that.
Yeah, no, it's incredible, bro. But now also I want to emphasize something else, is that sometimes you have the plan. So let's say a good example is about cooking, because cooking, it's like a plan. You have a recipe and you follow orders. No, you follow a specific cooking stuff and you get a specific result. But let's say I want to cook eggs, like simple eggs. And it's like very simple to do. Of course, the plan, the recipe is very simple, but maybe between me and a chef, like a Michelin star chef, the eggs, even though it's the same recipe, because the guy he has done eggs a million times, and maybe I've done it, but not in the same focus or in the same intention, is able to have a much better tasty outcome, or something that is much better than my eggs. No, maybe not. Maybe I'm a super chef, but what I mean is like the plan is important, but also is how do you execute the plan? Also, that is very important.
Yeah, also experience, right?
Yeah,
because the chef has so much experience. So
yeah, but sometimes I've been lucky.
Yeah.
But I've been when I was younger, I went to some nice restaurants with my parents, and it's not all the time. But when I went to this restaurant, it was really easy meal. But it was not like a super fancy, crazy stuff like fusion or whatever stuff. It was really the simplest, like the simplest meat with like some vegetables. But it was so good. Like it's like so good. But it's like you cannot. But it's very simple recipe. It's like even you can think you can make it at home, but you can't. But it's very well, amazingly done. And this is like excellence. This is like really the simple things, but done perfectly.
Tom, you're making everybody hungry, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna order food now.
Yeah, but you see what I mean, boys, that sometimes we think
That's a
about,
very good example. Yeah.
sometimes we look about like a very like complicated plan or like a complicated recipe. But sometimes what we have to do is just do something simple, but do it extremely well. And this is like the key sometimes.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Yeah. And I want to kind of emphasize again on the planning structures, and also even before I start giving people specific advice on how to plan, I think it's important for you to understand your personality type, how your brain functions. If you're more a right-minded creative person, burst of energy, a lot of a lot of creativity all over the place, or if you're a very structured, a more left-sided person, which is much more on planning, on numbers, on systematic. So I know some people that have super like minute by minute plan that like walks and that the clock ticks, and then they start to exercise. And I would not survive this type of plan. But also some people would not function well with the planning I do, because I also have blocks of time. But me, for example, I've noticed in my life, part of my success in my life, of everything I've been doing, the book club, talking, my business, has been also by being a bit impulsive as well. So for example, the Papi podcast. Today, this is why we wanted to do this podcast, right, guys? So we started impulsively recording a podcast. We impulsively kept on going until it reached a point where we're like, whoa, this is like a thing. But now it needs more structure. Now it needs more structure. And so the thing is that a lot of people also take planning as this roadblock. They're like, oh, fuck, but I have to have all of this planning. I need to know exactly what is going to happen first, and then I can do it. And that is also a mistake. So planning is very important, but you have to also know intentions and be able to take the actions before you have the whole plan done. So you can like at least plan the first part, like kind of we did with the podcast now, but we reached the point where the plan has to upgrade. So I also want to say that planning can come in stages where you first plan, I'm going to go to the gym once a week. Good. The plan starts, you take action. But then after, once a week becomes, oh my God, I'm gonna go twice a week. I'm gonna do back on Monday, shoulder on Wednesday, and now I'm gonna also drink that before the gym, and then it, like the plan adds on. So I want to say that the plan is always under construction or always getting more intricate.
Yeah.
My business started as a plan to just ask people for money, and then it became a whole agency. So it's also respect the process of your plan getting born and getting built. It's like it's a baby, you know, and you don't have to have it completely built before you use it. And this is very essential as well. Energy is important, that you have the first steps and take it before you go and plan 2 months and don't do shit. Take the energy as well, take the step.
Very powerful one. I really agree. It's about planning on the go a bit. You plan on the go. It's like, of course, you have to know a bit, but then you have to plan on the go. Like, let's say you're driving like a boat, or like you're shipping a boat, and you imagine you are the Titanic and you see the big iceberg. If you follow the plan, well, you eat you eat the iceberg, you know. But if
That is powerful. Yeah.
if you're able to shift from the plan, you are able to go, because you have to adapt to situations. Then you avoid these icebergs, because maybe your destination, actually, maybe your plan was bringing you to an iceberg, so you had to change it.
Yeah. In business, it's called a pivot. It's a pivot moment. Pivot is like this thing in the door that does this, and then often in life you pivot. You have to go back to Aruba to heal your pains and to connect with your parents and to love yourself more. That's a pivot. And then what? Only magic can come from it, you know? If it's a back or forward movement step. And I think it's beautiful, man, how
Very
life
true.
works. But you need to continue to plan no matter what.
Also, to support a bit this, to support this like knowledge that we are sharing now, I want to use a book because I think it's nice. It's called The Lean Startup. It's a very famous book in business. It's like the lean method. It has revolutionized many industries, and it's about this. It's about like using pivot, but also, as you say, Nevin, is to start with an impulse, or to start with like a minimum viable product. In business, you start like this, but it's to start with something very simple and then make it in the go, like improve your product or improve your service on the way. But it's the same with your gym your gym plan or whatever. You start with something, but then you improve it on the go. And it says also that you have like, it's like a pyramid, and at the bottom you have the vision, so your why, and this why or your vision is like very slightly, almost never pivot, or it's never like changing. But then the other part, like the strategy and the product, this kind of things, they pivot most of the time, like they can change. But your vision and your why is most of the time is always the same. It's just your strategy that changes. And yeah, I want to use the book because I think it's also powerful to support it with like real like real data. But yeah, it's very, I really recommend everyone to read this book. It's nice for business, but also it's nice for life. It's very nice for everything.
So, Flo, have you read Atomic Habits?
Yeah, a few years ago.
What did you think of that book?
I mean, it's gets so much, like, I don't know, whenever I listen to people, you know, talk about like personal development and spirituality and whatever, they talk about this book, and it's like, I don't know, I didn't like it that much, honestly. But I think so. My biggest takeaway was, of course, habits, right? Like how to create useful habits that actually support you and what you want to do in the future. But like I said, I don't remember too much about it. I just remember how I was struggling with creating healthy habits for myself at that time, and it helped me.
It's a life hack, this book, well, you should read it again, man. It's already really powerful.
Yeah, it's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's indeed a very powerful book. But I think we touched on something that is so essential, guys, that it doesn't really make sense to plan if you don't really know what result you want or where you're going. I think it's really essential. Like, let's say, imagine you're a pirate and you need to make a pirate map to reach or you find a map, but you need to know that what's at the end of the destination is actually something you want as well. Like, imagine you know that it's treasure, of course you want it, but imagine you follow a map that leads to sadness, or you follow a map that leads to a dead end or to an ugly girl. oh my God, or
Oh
you
my God.
something that you don't want, like a headache or like a disease. Or so it's also really important to know where you're going, to constantly have a compass, to constantly climb on top of your pirate ship and look in the distance and see if there's an iceberg on the way. You know, the plan is always moving. But again, essential is that you start as well. Know what you want and start.
Planning is huge, of course, but starting is, I think, the hardest part, right? Because so many people are procrastinating and are afraid of the future, what's coming, how to start. And yeah, if you don't know how what your plan is, where you're going, then it's hard to start, right? And this coming from me, I'm a master procrastinator, or I was at least. um, it took me years and years and years to make a decision, sometimes even. So yeah, it's super important to, like Nevin said, to actually question yourself and keep checking in with yourself, and see where your map is going to lead you. You want to find the treasure or the ugly girl. But yeah, no, it's so
But
true.
I
And
wanted
starting,
to yeah, go flow. No, but I wanted
no,
to
that's it.
a bit like counter this argument about like what Nevin said and what you said, because I think at the end it's not really about what you get, because I think there is no destination at the end of everything. I think there sometimes you reach some milestones. No, you reach some milestones of always, but it's an ongoing journey that is never finished. Because this, at the beginning, when you start, you think, okay, it's a finished thing. But then when you're on the way, you see that it's never ending. You see that it's never ending, and actually you're here to enjoy the ride, the plan or the process. And this is what I wanted to emphasize. So of course you need to have an idea of when you start, what do you want? You have a goal or a vision, but also you have to be able to understand that you have also to enjoy the process. You have also to see if you like the process, because you can, yeah, maybe you want a big Lamborghini, but maybe you don't want to work so hard to get it. Maybe it's not what you enjoy. Some people are willing to make the sacrifice and make the efforts, but some people won't, because maybe at the end it's not so important for them to have the big car, you know. So that's why I think it is important to realize that it's about the process at the end.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, I think my final take on it would be, I would kind of quote a very famous speaker author called Neville Goddard, and he talked a lot about manifestation. And he always said that you need to feel it as it is already done. You have to feel your plan, be able to see your future, even if it's a Lamborghini, whatever. If you want a Lamborghini, I'm happy for you. That's beautiful. And you have to kind of attract it. But I do agree with Tom. Basically, I feel that planning is a placeholder for the universe to send you ideas in order to reach your destination. You put this destination out there, you say, universe, I want to be happy, married, have a beautiful home, two beautiful kids, beautiful house. And from the moment that you commit to really wanting this, desiring this, the universe is going to be sending you people, ideas, things to help you. But the plan is kind of like the backpack, it's kind of like the placeholder you create for the universe to be able to, or for you to be able to keep these things that you're receiving, these plans, ideas. So as you go, or as you go on your journey, the universe is going to be like, hey, backpack, kind of like in Dora la Exploradora. It will come and guide you and help you, but you need to take what it says on the map by writing, by journaling, by downloading Google Calendar, by trying out Notion or Trello, and structuring, building mental structure so that the universe can provide you the plans in a more organized way, so you know what to do.
And also
You have to listen to the Puppies podcast.
Yeah, true.
Also listen to the Puppies podcast. Yes.
But also, just to jump and to conclude maybe on this, what you say, David, because I think it's powerful, it's very powerful, is about that the universe, if you ask the universe something, let's say you want to ask the universe the six-pack, you know, you want to have the six-pack and the big chest, the universe will bring you like laziness, you know, some days you will be lazy. Maybe you will get injuries. Sometimes maybe it will happen like during your workout, one day you will get an injury. It's possible. And it's like you get these like problems or this stuff that comes to you, but is there like package from the God or from the universe to help you to see if you really want what you asked? Because it's like a challenge. It's like it's testing you. It's like a test. And if you like give up, or if you're not able to do it, then it means that you didn't really want what you asked.
Yes, and make sure you check out the problems. I think it's over there right here. We're gonna add the link for you, the problems podcast, where we talk deeper into the problem. Sorry, Tom, I just wanted to cover that. Make
No, it's
sure
nothing.
everybody
It's
knows
just
about that
what you
episode.
say. It's what you say
Yeah,
that when you manifest
yeah,
or when you ask, you attract people, you attract events, you attract everything. But sometimes you
yeah.
don't attract positive. Sometimes you attract negative, but they are here to, or you see them as negative. Maybe
The
at first.
universe helps you to draw your treasure map. You,
Yeah.
you draw it to the right, but then suddenly the snake and the gorilla and Godzilla come out, and you're like, oh fuck, I have to go left. And the universe was like, yes, I know you have to go left. Listen, listen.
Learn how to check in with yourself.
Yes, wow. Check in with
Powerful last
yourself.
words.
Yeah, all right. So, guys, any last words before we start running off this episode? Maybe want to also share that the episodes are going to be a bit shorter now. We're going to be more structured, more snappy. We're going to be more focused on providing valuable information so that you can reach your next level of papi.
So yeah, thank you for listening,
Thank you
guys.
for
As
listening.
always, smash the like, subscribe button, and see you in the next one.
See you in the next. Bye bye.
Bye bye.